Hi there, welcome back. In this video we're going to use this lovely set of molds. Now this came as a set of 3 molds. There you go. We've got a pot with a lid and a beautiful little trinket tray, sort of oblong or rounded oblong shape there. Now we're going to use these beautiful acrylic inks. They're made by Daler. That one's made by, they're all made by Daler Rowney, and they are lovely. Everything that we use in the video will be linked in the description box down below. So I've made up some T-Expert resin. It's a 1-to-1 mixing ratio, and I'm just going to decant it into these 3 silicone mixing jugs. So there we go. That's the first one, second one, and then the third one. There we go. So, and then into each one of those, I'm going to put 2 or 3 drops of each of the colours. There's this beautiful warm yellow gold colour. So just squeezing that pipette part of the lid, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, big splurge there. So putting plenty of colour into the resin. So that's the gold one. Then we've got this beautiful pearlized pink. So the gold and the pink are very much pearlized, pearlescent sort of colours. So we'll just squidge that one in. And then this is this warm, deep, dark, plummy colour. Just going in there. Now, I probably did put way too much pigment colour in that one. It is very dark. But the overall effect is exactly what I want. So here we are, just mixing it up. I'm using just a mini wooden stir stick. You can use whatever you're happy using to mix in pigment colours into resin. So just making sure that I'm stirring the colour thoroughly into the resin. So there's the pale, lovely, beautiful pink colour. And now with this warm gold. So we're just stirring it into the resin there. There we go. Go careful when you're stirring. Obviously, make sure that whenever you're using resin, you are wearing gloves, you work in a well-ventilated area, and if you can, wear a respirator mask. So that's the pink done, the gold, and now this beautiful, deep, purpley, plummy colour. Look at that. Now, this took a little bit more mixing than the other 2. I'm not sure quite why. I don't know. It's the pigment was a bit more dense than the other 2 colours itself. So there we go. We've also made up some white. I didn't show you that, unfortunately, but I used the Let's Resin white that we have. There we go. They are absolutely gorgeous. Love those colours. So nice colour palette there. There are a few little bubbles just coming to the surface. Just leave it a couple of minutes, let them disperse, and then you'll be ready to use it. Now, I have got an empty jug, I suppose you could call it, a container there, and all I'm doing is layering the colours. So we went in with some purple first, then some white, then the pink. There we go. And then this beautiful warm yellow gold. Now, if you've seen any acrylic paint pouring videos, this would be referred to as layering your colours. So you'll see the effect it gives when I actually pour it out. Now this was very much let's suck it and see what happens. What you should really be doing though with your colours is going light dark when you're layering them. Hoping at this point that it wasn't going to be like mud. Now, I then thought, oh, let's shake it up here. Let's do exactly the same thing, but start from the other side of this mixing jug. So I went in with the light first, the white, then the plum, then the pink, then that beautiful warm yellow gold. There we go. And then I think, yeah, a bit more white. So I'm layering up this mixing cup with a majority of this resin. I think the only thing I didn't use all of was the purple, because I was just a bit concerned that the purple might actually take over. There we go. A beautiful pattern it's making in the mixing cup there. Beautiful pattern. There we are. So I noticed I'd got a little bit left still, so went in with my larger mixing paddle or spatula And I just poured this in, really. Got whatever was left out of it and popped it into the cup. There we go. So yeah, so this is a layered cup, but instead of using acrylic paint with a painting medium added to it, what we're doing is using resin instead and seeing how it goes. So there we go. There's a close-up shot. Look at that, the way that's mixed. Looks lovely. So here is the pot with the lid, which I'm going to do first. I'm going to pour it from a height and try and aim down into the centre of the mould. Look at that. Look at the rainbow effect that's giving as it's coming out of the mixing jug and then into the mould itself. It's beautiful. Look at that. Now that's called a tree ring pour. Again, if you follow acrylic paint pouring, you'll know that that's a tree ring pour because you can see lots of the circles. Now, resin being resin, it's going to move as it cures. It's not necessarily going to stay in that pattern, but that's absolutely fine. I just wanted the mix of the colours of resin just to see how it would go. Now, this is still using the same resin. There we go. You can see how it's it looks like I've used different colours, but I haven't. It's just got further down towards the bottom of that mixing cup. And all I'm doing is pouring it into the mould there. So we've done the pot with the lid, we've done the pot without the lid, and now we're going to do the trinket dish. And again, all I've done is mixed up the resin again, layered it in exactly the same way as I did before. And then this would be termed as a travelling ring pour or a travelling pour. Look at the way that's gone. Now, if you were doing an acrylic paint pouring picture, then you could once you were happy with your composition, you can manipulate it, you can tilt the canvas. Obviously, we're not going to be doing that with this because we don't want resin all over the top of the workspace area. But yeah, now I had some resin that I'd made up left over and I thought, what can I do with it? I don't want to waste it. We never do. So you may remember these moulds from previous video, the miniature moulds, the tiny little pots. And I thought, I'm going to see what they look like with this kind of resin. So rather than use mica powders to dust them and so on, and then use clear resin, I'll use this opaque resin mix that I've got here in this beautiful different shades of purples. So I had enough to do the lid and the base of the round one. I'm just putting a little stir stick in there and manipulating it around, trying not to get air bubbles trapped, because obviously we've had that issue before. Here we go. So this is a little bonus section to the video because obviously I didn't show you these moulds in advance because I didn't know I was going to have resin left over at that point. But I thought, why not? Let's just show you what we do with leftover resin that we have from projects. So here you go. Here's a little run through. We did also have enough to do a bangle and another little square pot, as you can see there. And look at the bangle. So this is the following day. So this is a demold one. Look at that beautiful effect with the resin there. Now, I don't know, it's like everything with resin. We don't know what it's going to be like on the other side. So let's see what this trinket tray looks like. It's come nice and cleanly out of the mould. And there we go. We will just take the sharpness off the edge of the bottom of the mould and we'll use the deburring tool to do that. Look at the way that's mixed. It's lovely. Love that. Really, really stunning. But look what it's done. Now, we used something called I think it's called a Sinker white to make up the white pigment in the resin. And that's what's created that. It's a bit like flower agate. If you follow, you know about semi-precious crystals and things, it's similar to flower agate effect sort of stone. If you haven't ever seen that, then why not go and Google it and have a look-see. So this is one of the pots. It's coming quite nicely out of the mould. Look at the beautiful ridged detailing around the outside. Twist and pull to take it out. Look at that. Look at the sparkle. Love the sparkle. And I really like, it's very subtle, the mix of colours. A lot more gold in this one. And that's the inside, looking really, really lovely, nice and crisp. Very nice, that. Here's the other pot. So just going to take this away. Now we've got a few little bubbles, but that's okay actually. I'm not worried about that. It sometimes happens with resin, and there's not a lot you can do about it. I could have sprayed the inside of the mould and wiped it down with some isopropyl alcohol perhaps before doing it. Something maybe to try and do in the future, but to be honest with you, I don't think it detracts from this piece at all. And look at that. Beautiful. Very, very subtle. Very subtle. And then you go, the inside of the pot there, nice and clear and smooth. Now this is the lid. Just going to demold the lid. Now we do go around the sharp edges or the, you know, the edges of the moulds of all of these pieces with the deburring tool. Now that's the underside of the lid and that's the top. So that literally just sits on it like that. That's it. Now I wasn't sure, it's not sitting very well in it, but you know, it is what it is. You do get this sometimes when you're trying to make lids for pots, for resin pots and things. You can leave it in it just to try and reshape it a bit, or, you know. But I was thinking I might make a little lid. So I've just shown you the lid of a box that we've made previously. And I'm hoping that this little lid will be suitable to go on top of the lid for the larger pot. I'm just getting rid of this excess overpour here. We'll tidy that up a lot better, and we use a deburring tool to do that. But look at the detail. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So that literally placed probably in the centre of the lid, slightly off centre there, in the centre of the lid, and that just, I think, just finishes it off. Obviously you don't have to do that, but this is what it looks like. Look at that. I love these colours. I just hope the person that this is going to be a gift for also really likes it too. I'm not going to secure the lid, the flower lid part at the moment. We're still going to make our mind up on these, but these are the extra bits that we did. Now I'm going to demold them. Let's see if these what these look like, because it's very interesting then to compare them to the ones where we've used the mica powders and the clear resin. So here we go. Just remove the excess from the, well, look at that detail. These little miniature molds are beautiful, and I think they're going to be ones that can keep to hand, so that if we have any leftover resin from projects, it's what we use. Now again, I think it was a little bit too thick and I didn't quite get it into the corners of the molds there, unfortunately, but they can be used for something else rather than lids. I can always round off the corners and then make my decision as to what I'm going to use them for. Or I can round off the corners slightly, stick some little pearls in perhaps, and still use them as the lids. So this is the round one. Or it's not a round one actually, this is the larger oval shaped one. So we do need to just get rid of this overspill. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to use a little pair of scissors that I have, which, there we go. You will see, and because it's very thin and because it's not had like 1 or 2 full days curing, you can just snip through it like that. And I will go round it once it's completely cured with the deburring tool. But look at the detail on this pot. On the outside, it's absolutely stunning. Beautiful, beautiful. And this is the lid. Now look, can you see we've got a couple of very large pieces missing again. 1, 2, 3 actually on this one, unfortunately, but you get the overall effect. You'll see, you know, the sort of thing that what it would look like. But they're lovely. Really, really like those. So you compare it to the one with the pink mica, and then there's the purple coloured one. So here's the bangle. Now let's just see. This is, you won't have seen us doing bangles before. Hopefully you will soon. It's a video will be coming up in about a week or so's time. where we've poured resin into bangle moulds and but not kept them as bangles, made them into something else. So yeah, we'll keep you on tender hooks for that one. There we go. We're just trying to remove, just trying to release it from the resin. Just releasing it there from the resin. Look at that. You just got a little sneak peek there. Almost out. Oops. Almost out. So we do have some finishing off to do there. That's got to be taken down so it's nice and smooth and flat. I'll do that with a deburring tool. But look at the way the colours mixed. This is stunning. So this is a slightly wider bangle. We do have thinner ones as well. But that is gorgeous. So this is the deburring tool. And you're just literally going to take it along the edge so it takes off a small amount at a time. And you just repeat this process until you're happy that it's as smooth as you want it to be. There we go. Just taking that down. There we go. Oops. So there we are. This is what it looks like, the little bits that come off. And then I'm just doing that. So I've done the inner part of this bangle. I'm just doing the outer edge. And I will keep going with this until it's as smooth as I want it to be, or it needs to be. We are building up quite a bit of little curly bits of resin there. So almost done with that piece. I will just go around and finish it off, and we'll give it a little light sand as well. So here we are on the finished shot. There's that beautiful bangle, the oblong or oval shaped trinket tray, the two beautiful little pots with the lids, little miniature pots with the flower lids. Here we have the tall ribbed pot with the lid, the smaller ribbed pot as well, and then back again to that beautiful bangle. Hope you've enjoyed this video. We'll see you again in a couple of days. Take care, everyone. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. Bye.